Hi, I'm Stephen Hawkins. Welcome to my retreat in Canada. I'm here to talk to you about my newly released book, A Gift from the Stars. It's an autobiography and records the transformative path of self-recovery from an abusive childhood. My healing journey entailed 25 years living as a reclusive in a celibate lifestyle. I became the caregiver to an elderly man who had never been to school, and his social skills were more in common with the natural world than civilized society. However, this same man possessed a spiritual genius that ultimately served to release me from my emotional straitjacket. Over the years, he guided me through the process of reconnecting to my authentic self. It was a challenging experience, but ultimately it went beyond anything my world of illusory belief could comprehend. I came to realize that we all possess inner potential and spiritual insight. If we can look within ourselves, we can find the answers to all the questions we've ever asked about the meaning of life. This is what I will come to understand, and the purpose of existence, which is to practice and share the gifts we have. The man who held the keys to my meaning of life had no past I could fathom. His real name was never known to the world, and he had never celebrated a birthday even. I only knew him as Pat. Pat was someone who had eluded the prevailing social system's development program. Without any formal schooling, the cultural complexities and riddles of the English language did not confuse, hinder, or distort his perception of life. He could easily connect into other planes of being. The natural world was so intrinsically innate to his whole life, an atmospheric phenomenon. He could talk to beings on other planes who helped him understand the workings of this world. He intuitively knew that socializing people to conform to a system that conditions them to follow a supposed code of normality was inherently deceiving. He believed that the mechanical and archaic, formalized, selective education system born of what? The Industrial Revolution and prevalent in Western society might be useful for idle conversation and hold an argument relating to the workings of the world at a basic level, but it inhibited and stifled an individual's creative faculty. There was little room for developing extrasensory faculties, such as meditating and channeling into higher frequencies of being, using the mind's antennae to hear messages and receive messages from guardian spirits. Intuitive insights, premonitions and visions of the dream state. All this was second nature to Pat. Those of a closed-minded academic persuasion might consider such propositions of intelligence as fanciful and unfounded in science. But over time, Pat taught me otherwise, and in keeping an open mind, I learned how to tap into my own psychic abilities. I had to heal myself of my emotional and psychological damage caused in my childhood and youth. I had to learn how to think in a sentient fashion. I had to go inside myself and find my inner sanctum of peace. I had to learn how to balance the masculine and feminine sides of my nature and harmonize them to vibrate as the same level as the earth and universe. If I could do this, Pat said I could open doors to a greater enlightenment. I could learn to embrace the love of being and, to quote Gandhi, become the change I wanted to see in the world. In some small degree, I grew to realize that love, in its finest essence, holds the key to understanding the nature of creation. Love is when you realize that all experiences However desirable or hard to bear, so is a purpose in life. And that ultimately a damaged part of the self will be healed through the nature of understanding how life evolves. Love is when you have no mind to think ill or cruelly of anyone or thing, no matter what egoistical reaction may be suffered to the self. However, we learn that sense of love that we willingly give and share as unconditional love. It's a fragile and brittle commodity. It can vanish in the void of when we feel hurt and upset by sudden and unexpected abuse of our love. The key I discovered was to keep the ego at bay, make allowances for mistakes, and go with the flow of every moment of every day. I had to overcome my fears of the unknown and to embrace the mystery of life. I had to become a universal being and recognize that the atoms that course through my blood are the same that course through the cosmos. I accept that we are all one, and ultimately we return to the source of creation, that is God, or whatever we imagine God to be, or the nature of existence is. The message from I get from the stars is this, cliche or not, there's more to life than meets the eye. We can challenge and change our perception of what is possible in life, or to create a new way of thinking. We must keep our mind in constant flux and never become complacent with what we think we know. Live, love and learn and enjoy life and be as happy as human health and well-being allows. Confiding with someone you trust is good, but keep a part of yourself to yourself and detach from a world that seeks to model us in the image of its ego-fed patriarchal design. Don't forgo your conscience to a control system that intimidates, bullies, and manipulates people to breed contempt, such as discrimination and stereotypical ideas, models of social attitude, right and wrong behavior, status, looks and image. Don't be seduced by a world that abuses gender and treats women as unequal, as sexual objects, and engages in, glamorizes machismo, violence and war whilst mindlessly slaughtering sentient creatures to sate a carnivorous need. To love earth is good, but to love spirit is greater. What we accrue in the mind of our spirit will determine what world we are best designed for. If there is nothing but the images of earth's make in our creation, then that world will continue to host our soul. But if only love and the beauty of nature exists within us, then our soul will transcend the life-giving star of its make. The first 4 letters of love, or the only 4 letters of love, spell the first 4 letters of the word evolve in reverse. But what we evolve into remains our right of choice. Enjoy the read. It's a book with a difference that I can assure. And thank you.